Good morning from the beautiful island of Siargao. The sun is shining, the breeze is in the air. Beautiful morning here. Yeah, that's all I have to say, right? Guys, you know what? I've been talking about this land dispute that's been going on. Once again, the land dispute is not with my family. The land dispute is with two other Filipinos' families. Maybe I didn't make that clear. I thought I made it clear in my videos about who the dispute is with. Some people understood, some people didn't understand. The land dispute is not with my family. The land dispute is with two other separate families. So anyways, guys, I had mentioned, I said, you know what? I'm going to do a video explaining why there's such a big land dispute and everybody's trying to grab land grabbing all around here and everything like that. Here's the reason why. All right, check out over my shoulder here, right here. That is why, right there. That is why there's a land grab going on. Port Management Office of Siargao, Terminal Management Office of Siargao, Cruise Terminal and Cargo Terminal, Port of Jubang, 2.20 kilometers away. Municipality of Dapa, Siargao Island, Surigao del Norte. That's what it is. They put the port up down the road, and everybody thinks they're going to get rich off of this port. All right. We were told that it was built last year. Last year it was built. The port is there. I haven't even gone out to the port yet. We're going to do that today. We're going to go out to the port. I'm going to show you the port and everything like that. There hasn't been a boat arrive yet, a cruise terminal boat arrive yet. However, they're saying what, October, November of this year, there's supposed to be a boat, cruise boat coming in. To go ferry, evidently that's what they're saying, is coming to the port here out of Manila. I don't know, it's one of those things, I'll believe it when it happens, but everybody thinks they're going to get rich off this port. I'm going to put up a store, I'm going to put up this, I'm going to put up a hotel, I'm going to put up whatever. There's nothing wrong with dreaming. There's nothing wrong with having a dream. And that's the thing. People will, on a tourist island, it's all about making money off the tourists. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the locals are going to do their local thing. There are always going to be barangays. There's always going to be stores, markets where the local people will congregate to and buy from. But also tourism. Big money comes from tourism on this island. But here's my thing, guys. Down the road, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or so, is the airport. All right. You go down by the airport, I think there's maybe one hotel down there, which maybe I can understand why, if you're vacationing far north on Siargao Island, your plane leaves early in the morning, you don't want to drive that distance in the morning, so you want to stay down there. But there's nothing else down there. It's a little tiny little barangay, has its own, couple little stores, couple little sari stores, couple little calendaria stores. The thing is, when people arrive here, they're not, and they don't want to hang out around the airport. They're going into General Luna. They're going to spend their money in General Luna. They're going to start their adventure in General Luna. They ain't hanging out. They don't care what's between the airport and General Luna. Just my thoughts. So anyways, guys, let's head down to the port. I'll show you this port. And like I said, first time I'm going down there. All right, guys, so there's actually two ports being built down here. Down the road further is a terminal for cargo. A cargo terminal that they're going to bring cargo onto this island. And then you have the cruise terminal port right here. All right, you can see the road coming in is really nice. It's really nice. They did an amazing job putting in this road. This was a dirt road years ago. Hello, my friend. This was a dirt road years ago. Nothing here but a dirt road. There's fishing villages scattered all through back in here. All right, but down this road is where the terminal is going to, well, you can see it's being built. Let me shoot down here. Let's see how far I can get down here, and let me show it to you. All right, guys, we made it to the port. However, I was speaking to the gentleman over here. You can see the port over my back. I'm not allowed to go in there, film, and take pictures or anything like that because there's construction going on, which I understand. You know what I mean? But anyways, they are saying October 20th. Let me get over here in this shade. Let me get in the shade here. Let me get some light. There we go. October 20th is when they're saying the first boat is supposed to arrive. To-go ferries. And from what I'm seeing, like, to-go ferries are really nice. You know, they're coming out of, these boats are going to be coming out of Manila and Cebu, is what the gentleman told me that are working here. Once a week is the plan. We'll see how that goes. Supposed to have a ribbon cutting ceremony. I think he told me like around the 18th of October. I'll see if I can get down here through to show it. But they're going to have, of course, the terminal, the port, the BI for those foreigners that are coming here to check, make sure they're able to be here. They're going to have the Coast Guard assigned here. They're going to have maritime assigned here. All the things that go with the port. I did ask him, I said, where's the selfie station? You know what I mean? Where's that sign that says, welcome to Siargao? Because that is important. That is important. What he's telling me, you guys can look at it while I talk. What he's telling me is you will arrive on the boat. I asked him how many days there'll be at port. He wasn't sure. He said maybe 1-2 days. I would say 2. You need 2 days at least. You'll get off the boat. There'll be vans here. I'm sure they will set up things on the boat, or people can do it on their own, to do island hopping here, to do land tours here, everything that is available on this island for you to enjoy. You'll get off the boat. A van might be waiting for you. You hop in the van. The van takes you out onto, all right, my friend, the van will take you out on land tours. You could get a motorbike. You could probably rent a motorbike here to take it out on yourself, a tuk-tuk, a trike, whatever transportation is available. You will hop on that. You will take it out, and you'll do all your tours here on Siargao Island. All right. But here's the thing. You know, like I was saying, people think they're going to get rich. I heard rumor that somebody said they're going to build a hotel up here. Why? Why would you build a hotel? These people are going to get off the boat, all right? They are going to get on a trike, on a motorbike, in a van. They're leaving this area. They've been at sea for, I don't know, what is it to take from Manila down to here? Day and a half, give or take, from Cebu, a little bit cheaper or a little bit less time. But they want to explore. They're going to get off, they're going to hop in these vehicles, and they're going exploring. They're doing the island hopping that is offered here. They're doing the land tour that's offered here. They're going to Cloud 9. They're going to go to Pacifico maybe. There's a lot to do here, and 2 days isn't even enough, but they're going to hit all the major tourist attractions here. They'll be out all day. They'll eat out. You know what I'm saying? They're going to eat out. They're going to dine at some of the, the more popular places here that they've heard of. But at night, when they're done doing all that, they're not staying in hotels. They're not going to stay at a hotel at the port when they've already paid for a room on a boat to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to care what's between the port and General Luna, between the port and their land cruise or the island hopping. That's what I'm saying. People, I don't know. Somebody opens up a little stand selling buko. All right, a couple of people might stop for that. But it is a nice looking port. First time down here. I wish I could walk around and show you. When they do get the port up and running, maybe I'll get in here if they let me get in here, walk around, kind of show you the port. But if you guys know anything more about these to-go boats, let me know. I even went online to see if anything's being booked. Can you book a trip now online from Manila, Cebu, down here to Siargao Island? And maybe I didn't do enough research, but I couldn't find anything. Not to say there's nothing out there, but I mean, will they fix this road up? Who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But the main road going out to General Luna Dapa Road, yeah, from the airport is really, it's nice. It's nice. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I mean, right over here is a little fishing village here. If you go down the road further, there's more fishing villages. You know, the ocean out there. I mean, it'll be cool to see a boat come in. I know they mentioned 2 other boat carriers, Caribbean or something. He mentioned 2. He goes, there's talk about them, but you're not going to see no Carnival cruise ship cruise into here. None of those big names. Right now, there's no boats coming from like Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia. Not to say there might not be in the future. Time will tell. But this is the biggest, baddest thing going on here when it comes to bringing more tourists onto the island here. This is just a different way. Maybe some people don't like to fly, so they're going to take, the to-go ferries. And once again, you've got your low-end to-go ferry where you're in an open bay bunk with everybody else, all the way up to a private suite. Prices are going to be more for the private suite compared to, an open bay. But anyways, if you know more about it, you know more about the to-go ferries, leave comments below. Let me know if you've gone on to-go ferries. Let me know your experience. I've only seen people on YouTube sharing their experience, and from what I've seen, they seem very nice. So anyways, like I said, they will not let me walk around in the port area itself. But they did say I could fly a drone, and I did bring my drone, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to shoot our drone up in the air and give you guys a bird's eye view of the new port here.